Coming to you from the Lydia Media Studios in the heart of Lewiston, Auburn, it's Lydia's Lunch Bunch, LA's afternoon morning show with Mark, Sarah, and Pam. We're covering news and events in the greater LA area and talking to the people making a difference in our community. Feel free to share your comments, questions, or suggestions via email at podcast@lydiamediallc.com.
And today's show is brought to you by United Piping, serving residential and commercial customers with new installations and repairs. Call today and schedule your oil and gas boiler cleanings at 754-4556. UPI,
the best plumbers around.
Also brought to you by Ruper's Beverage and Redemption. When it comes to beer, wine, and spirits, don't botch it, squatch it. At 5 locations in Lewiston, Auburn, and Oxford. Learn more at rupersbeverage.com. And remember, the party starts at Ruper's.
We have the pleasure of being joined in studio today by the birthday boy,
Whoop, whoop.
Mike the Tarot Guy.
Yay!
How's it going, Mike?
It is going fantastic.
Excellent. It's been a minute since we've seen you.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
I miss this, you know?
We miss you.
I mean, any chance I can come and talk with you guys is a day that makes me happy.
Yeah.
Yay.
Aw, I just got all warm and fuzzy. I hate it. We're going to talk to Mike all about tarot stuff and birth charts. I don't know what they are either, but we're going to find out.
It's going to be fun.
Mike's going to tell us all about it coming up here in just a bit. Before we get there, let's take a look at some headlines for Tuesday, May 6th.
Governor Mills and 5 other Northeast governors invited 6 Canadian premiers to meet and discuss the president's tariffs and affirm the importance of maintaining strong cross-border relationships. Mills has warned that the president's active and proposed tariffs on Canada will increase the costs of heating oil, gasoline, food, and other essentials.
Lewiston's new city administrator, Brian Cainrath, was sworn in yesterday and will attend his first city council meeting tonight at 7 p.m. The 41-year-old previously served in leadership roles in Waterville and Saco. He said he looks forward to working together to build on the progress Lewiston has made.
Former Maine Governor Paul LePage has re-entered Maine politics. The 76-year-old former Florida resident filed for the 2nd Congressional District seat, which is currently held by Jared Golden. LePage said he would fight extreme woke policies. Golden told CBS 13 he thought Paul was doing his best work in retirement.
The Sun Journal reports that sisters Casey and Allie Peacock signed a lease to take over the former Cowbell location at 49 Lisbon Street in Lewiston. Casey was the general manager at Side by Each Brewing until it closed in December. The 179-seat restaurant and bar will be named The Blue Feather and will open in early summer.
Should we talk about the weather?
Do we have to?
Rain or shine, it's all okay. Grab your uke and start the day. Clouds may come or skies turn blue. Weather's fun with me and you. The sun is bright and storms may brew. Every day's a brand new view. You don't need perfect skies above. Hey, just a song and a little love.
Mike, what do you think?
Oh, my God.
Is it growing on you, Sam?
Nope.
That was the best way to start this whole morning.
We
love it.
We love getting first-time reactions to Sarah's weather song.
Sarah loves it.
I'm just bouncing over here.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my God, this is so adorable.
Right. It also tells us that you haven't listened to the show in a long time.
I'm usually at work.
Just kidding.
First thing in the morning. Oh, my
The
God.
episodes live forever.
Mike, it's a podcast.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're no longer live anymore.
Mike, after the show, I'm going to tell you how podcasts work.
Let's forget about birth
Wasn't
charts.
he talking about starting one?
I was just talking about that this morning.
You might need to research.
Mike's like,
research.
I want to start a podcast, but I can't get up that early.
I tell all the kids, you know, my way of getting online is getting on the telegraph and just...
That's just in. Mike now knows what a podcast is. Are you going to do the weather?
I mean, I was trying to avoid it. But...
Okay.
Because we have rain today with a high of 56 and a low of 48, with rain again tomorrow with a high of 67 and a low of 51. Cloudy on Thursday with highs in the 60s.
I tell you what, with a high of 67, I'm doing yard work in the rain. I don't care.
It's warm enough, it just makes it a lot more difficult.
No, I don't care.
Anywho.
Anyways, in sports, In Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, the Celtics blew a 20-point lead and missed an NBA playoff record 45 three-pointers in a 108-105 overtime loss to the New York Knickerbockers.
Isn't it fun to say?
Yeah. Game 2 is tomorrow night in Boston.
I tell you what, with all those bricks they threw up, they could have built a brand new TD Garden.
Like, stop shooting threes.
I know!
Go in for a layup. Try and draw a foul. Like, what is happening? Why do we have to keep throwing three-pointers?
45 of
45.
them.
And they
Missed.
attempted 60. The Red Sox host the Texas Rangers tonight at 6:45.
And our Maine Nordiques and Rochester Junior Americans are tied 1-1 in their best-of-5 playoff series. Game 3 is Friday at 7:30. Write that down. And Game 4 is Saturday at 4:30. Also write that down.
Don't write it down. Put it in your calendar.
Put it in your calendar. Write it down. Leave it posted somewhere. Do what you have to do. But get to the Colisee this Friday and Saturday and support the Nords.
And the Maine Mayhem women's football team takes on the Buffalo Blizzard on Saturday at 6 p.m. at Lewiston High School.
That's a cool name. Buffalo Blizzard.
It is. Yeah, not too shabby.
They get a lot of snow up there in northern New York.
They do.
Sure do.
That is your news, weather, and sports. And right now it is time for the podcast segment that is Sweeping the Twin Cities. It's time for famous people birthdays.
They're famous. It's their birthdays. It's famous people birthdays. It's famous people birthdays.
We're going to start off with George Clooney, who is 64 years old today. I remember him from the Ocean's 11.
Oh, yeah. Do you guys remember when he was on The Facts of Life?
What?
Oh,
He was the handyman on The Facts of Life.
Really?
Yep.
remember
And
that.
also he was Roseanne's sister's, Laurie Metcalf's boyfriend on Roseanne, and he got in trouble with Dan because he threw around a little bit. Mm-hmm.
He's a bum.
Yeah, he was a bum on that one. Yep.
He's a bum, I tell you.
Yep. Come a long way from those shows, I guess. He has a great voice for like voiceover work too.
Oh, yeah.
done any?
Yeah, the Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Okay.
Tom Bergeron, who is was the host of Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, who was who was one of the judges on that show?
Carrie Ananaba. He is 70 years old today. And Bob Seger.
What?
Musical legend Bob Seger is 80 years old today.
Oh my gosh, 80?
You know how, Pam, we always say that they're 70 or they're 80 and they're still touring? Well, Bob is not. He's retired.
He's done. He's
Yeah.
like,
He's,
good.
He's working on his night moves.
oh!
He's got to be home by 6.
Still working on the night moves.
He's
huh?
working
Yeah.
on his night moves.
He's had enough of those Hollywood nights.
Yeah.
As much as he wishes it were still the same, it is not. Time to move out of Main Street. All right, whatever. Bob is 80 today, and those are your FPBs. Now let's take a look at some OTDs.
Okay.
On this day, 14 years ago, in 2011, Thor was released.
My favorite.
Is it really?
Oh, Thor's my favorite of the Marvel.
The Thor series and the Guardians series are my two favorites. I like the directors from both of those, and the way they add more comedy to those two is great.
I mean,
Ragnarok is like perfection.
See, I love the last one. The last one was my absolute favorite. Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder is really good.
Oh my God, absolutely loved it.
26 years ago on this day in 1999, a New York parole board voted to release Amy Fisher, who had been in prison for 7 years for shooting Mary Jo Buttafuoco in the face.
What a last name.
Buttafuoco?
Yeah.
That's a fun name.
It's very
So
very
many-
Irish, isn't it? Buttafuoco.
I would say, isn't it Italian?
I would say Italian.
Yes, it's very much Italian.
Good call, Mike.
Forget about it.
It's not O Buttafuoco. Or Mick Buttafuoco.
Just Buttafuoco.
It's Buttafuoco. It's very Irish.
Oh, boy.
Hey, it's a very Irish name, eh?
31 years ago on this day in 1994, Bobcat Goldthwait set his chair on fire on The Tonight Show and got charged with a crime for it. He pleaded no contest to recklessly causing a fire and had to pay $3,888 in fines and damages.
Strange number.
I'd say that is reckless.
That is reckless.
Very reckless.
Oh, Bobcat. 31 years ago today, in 1994, the English Channel Tunnel officially opened. It's the world's longest undersea tunnel with 23 miles of track at an average depth of 150 feet below sea level,
Absolutely not.
No.
connecting England to France.
Nope.
Nope.
That would
Not
be
happening.
a 23-mile anxiety attack.
Yeah.
71 years ago today, in 1954, at a track meet in Oxford, England, medical student Roger Bannister became the first man to break the 4-minute mile.
It's fast.
That's
Wicked
so
fast. So fast. And now I think the record is 3 minutes, 43 seconds. 84 years ago on this day in 1941, Bob Hope performed his first USO show for troops at California's March Field. He ended up performing hundreds more for troops in World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and the First Iraq War.
I love that.
Yeah.
He did his part.
Absolutely. And finally, 88 years ago, on this day in 1937, the Hindenburg disaster occurred in New Jersey. As it flew over the Lakehurst Naval Air Station, the hydrogen-filled German blimp crashed and burned, killing 36 people. The radio announcer on the scene yelled, "Oh, the humanity," which went on to become one of the most famous quotes in American history.
It was one of the first disasters that was actually like photographed and reported on the scene too. So it
live.
was like a kind of a big deal.
Well,
And it's referenced quite frequently, right? Oh, the humanity.
it sure is. Yeah. Say that sometimes in the bathroom.
TMI.
Wow.
We got to get out of this segment on a laugh. Come on.
That last one brought it way down.
Those are your FPBs and OTDs for May the 6th.
Whether you want a sit-down meal or a grab-and-go, Pat's Pizza in Auburn offers delicious sandwiches, pasta, salads, and pizza at family-friendly prices. Pat's Pizza, serving the L.A. area since 1985. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 85 Center Street in Auburn. Online at patsauburn.com.
Now we shift focus fully to our guest in studio, Mike the Tarot Guy. It's his birthday today, and Mike wanted to talk about birth charts. Mike, I've never heard of the term birth charts. I have no idea what it is, what they do, and why we should know about them.
Mark, how long have we been friends?
I mean, forever.
How long have I been talking about these things?
It's either been forever or 3 years.
Forever sounds way cooler.
That's right.
So birth charts, what are they? Does anybody know? Does anybody really know what they are? The answer to that is yes, we know what birth charts are. And essentially, everybody has one. There is no way that you do not have a birth chart. A birth chart is simply the map of the sky when you were born.
And when you say we know, you don't say we as in this room.
I say we as a collective of humanity.
Okay.
Oh, the humanity.
Oh, the humanity! Oh my God, can we make this a shirt?
We got so many shirts to make.
We really do.
We need a screen printing division of Lydia Media.
Somebody buy us a Cricut. Sorry, Mike.
No, that's totally fine. I'm loving this.
Mike's been here before. He knew what to expect.
Oh yeah, no, I'm good. So yeah, it's a snapshot of where all the stars and planets and moons and all of that fun stuff existed the moment you were born. And the reason why that is important is because, being born is a really energetic thing, and like you exist now. You didn't exist before, but now you do. So that moment, all the energies of the positioning of the stars and whatnot affect you. What that means is when you are born, the sun represents something, the constellations represent things, your horoscopes, all of those things. They all come into play the moment you were born. So for me, I was born here in Lewiston at 10:26 a.m., 37 years ago. So my birth chart is going to be explicitly what the sky looked like at that moment. So my birth chart is going to be extremely different from your birth chart.
How do we know what the sky looked like?
Fortunately, today, we have a lot of AI technology that can automatically do that for us. So you know how we rotate around the sun? We can actually pinpoint where things were years ago, and I mean like hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, because everything is constantly rotating in a very precise way, right? So we rotate around the sun. We know we know how to calculate that. So we can literally just rewind and, because we know how fast we're traveling around the sun, and we know how fast our solar system's traveling in the galaxy and all that fun jazz. You can actually rewind and know where the sun and the moon and all of that is positioned in the night sky. Now, again, I mentioned AI makes it a lot easier, but there are people out there who are astrologists who actually know how to calculate that on their own. And I haven't gone that far. It's really cool. It's not something that I know how to do. But I mean, even dating back as far as Queen Elizabeth, the first, not the recent one. She was one of the first monarchs in English history to actually have an astrologer on her staff.
What?
And she actually put more power and faith in what he had to say more than some of her other advisors. So this goes way back. It's not something that we just started doing today. It's something that has been around for an extremely long time. And we just find it fun now. But it's just something we do for fun. But back then, entire empires were kind of ruling based on astrology. So yeah, it's a snapshot of where you are, where everything was the moment you were born. Okay. So it is different for everybody. In order to find out your full natal chart, which is the positioning of the sun in regards to the zodiac signs, the moon, and all of the planets in our solar system. They all have different things interacting with each other. In order to find that out, you need to know where you were born. So for me, yay, Lewiston. Yeah, here we go. You need to know the exact time that you were born. If you do not have the exact time, you are not going to get an accurate reading. Because two people could be born in the same day, but if you are cusping another sign by like a degree, those hours are important because it changes everything. And you need to know location, time, and obviously your birthday. If you have all three of those things, you can calculate where everything was. Wow. And so everybody has more than one sign. Everybody looks at horoscopes and they say, oh, I'm a Taurus. That's your sun sign, right? We also have a moon sign and an ascending sign. So our sun sign is who we are core as a person, the core of who we are. Our moon sign is how we emotionally sort of deal with everything. And then the ascending sign is how people perceive us. So for me, I'm a Taurus sun sign. My moon sign is a Capricorn and my rising sign is Cancer. So everything that we know about all of the astrological signs apply to these deeper meanings, and it's really cool. And then you get houses, and then you get planets and all kinds of fun stuff.
What?
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't love planets?
I don't know. I've never met anyone who's anti-planet.
Alex is big into planets right now.
Despite what everyone says, Pluto is still a planet. Yeah.
I'll let him know.
You hear that, Mark?
Hear that, NASA? Pluto is a planet.
Pluto is a planet. Why do you say that? Why do you disagree with NASA?
Because, you know what? Pluto deserves his place. And right now, as he's going through Aquarius, he's ruining all of our lives. And it's like, Pluto, I'm on your side. Be nice to me. It wasn't me. That's how I feel about AI. I say please and thank you to my chat GPT, because someday when the computers rise, I'll be like, you were nice to us. You said please and thank you.
We liked you.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, yay, I get to live.
I'll be like, I'll kill you last.
Yeah. I'll be like, thank you, AI. I love you. All right. Kind of taking this whole birth chart thing a step further. You have your three signs, but then there are 12 houses. And those houses represent different themes in life, such as like identity, relationship, career, and stuff like that. So whatever astrological sign appears in that house, that determines how that house interacts with you and how you and that house interact with the world around you. So it gets very complicated. And these birth charts are cool because they're like discs. And then you have like the little calendar on the outside, and there's lines going everywhere and all these symbols and stuff like that. It's really kind of cool to look at. It's kind of like a spider web because everything's crossing over and whatnot. I definitely need AI to help me read that because there's no way I can read it myself. Again, this is something I'm a tarot guy. I'm really good at the tarot, but astrology is something I'm still learning about. And even though I've been studying it for like 10, 15 years like this, it's a lot more difficult to grasp than say the tarot and whatnot. And so I'm still trying to figure out, the nuances of all of that. But it's really cool because it can tell you a lot about who you are as a person. And I think that's why people gravitate towards that so much, is because we intrinsically want to know who we are. And we're all special. We are all unique individuals. And even if we were, if we had a twin or something like that, we are our own person and we have our own chart and destiny and whatnot. I mentioned the different planets. Some of the planets we have, Mercury involves communication and thinking. That's a fun topic for us on this channel because I always talk about Mercury in retrograde. Oh God, that's ooh lordy child. The last one we had, oh boy, that was rough. I don't know about you guys, but the last Mercury retrograde cycle about a month ago was just like miserable. At least for me.
Why is it that when Mercury is in retrograde, we get feeling weird, but other planets are in retrograde too, right?
Right. And it has everything to do with what I'm talking about right now.
Yeah.
So communication, thinking, travel, all of that stuff is intrinsically tied to all of our lives every day. We have to communicate. We're constantly going places. We're constantly using technology. That's why when it gets messed up, it's way more noticeable because it's a part of our everyday life. And so that's why we're like, oh my God, it's a crisis that Mercury's in retrograde because everything's falling apart. But we're also closer to Mercury in orbit, right? You have the terrestrial planets, which are the inner four. And then you have what are known as generational planets, which are Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. But with the generational planets, their retrograde cycles last much longer because they're further away. So when you hear Saturn in retrograde for like 6 to 9 months versus like 3 weeks, it's spread out over a much longer period of time, and it's not as powerful because it's further away. Does that make sense?
Mike, I got to tell you, my mind is blown right now.
I can see.
Mark is lost in space.
I can see the bacon sizzling in your
Wow.
pan.
Man. It's a lot. It's a lot to
It is.
On a
take
Monday
in and
morning, yeah.
digest. It's a Tuesday.
Oh my God.
Sure is Tuesday.
So yeah, about that morning.
Like in a nutshell, what did you learn about yourself from your birth chart?
I learned I learned how I interact with people. As in like everyone's familiar with the sun sign. They're like, oh, you're a Taurus, so that means you're lazy and you like food. It's true. I'm lazy and I like food. The dishes are something completely. Thank you, Eddie, for doing the dishes. My roommate just moved back in, and it's like, oh,
There you
didn't
go.
have to do my dishes, but you did, and bless your heart, and not in the Southern way. That's become a phrase of mine. So everybody knows the sun signs. It's like, okay, you're a Cancer, so you're very family-oriented and kind of emotional. And you're a Scorpio, so
Oh boy.
don't make you upset. And
You're Scorpio, Pam?
Yes, I am.
Scorpios and Tauruses get along really well
they?
because they're earth and water signs, and earth and water signs are
Oh, they jive.
they jive.
Okay.
But don't make a Scorpio upset.
Oof.
They will never forget.
Yeah, that's...
We forgive.
But they never forget.
Yeah.
Nope.
I walk on eggshells around here. It's not easy.
Oh my God. When talking about astrology, everybody knows the basic, right? You can go into a book or online and say, oh, I'm whatever, what does this mean? And it tells you all about who you are on a core level. But once you start getting into the other signs, such as the moon sign, that's how we all emotionally interpret everything. I'm a Capricorn moon sign. So notice how when I mentioned I was a Taurus, I'm like, I'm lazy and I like food. I immediately go to like the negative with things. And that's the Capricorn moon sign in me. Capricorns tend to be very negative people in ways. It's one of their shadow traits. But because it's my moon sign, and for all you Capricorns out there, I'm not saying you're bad people. I'm not saying you're negative all the time.
Oh, I am.
This makes sense. You're a Capricorn?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm a Virgo.
Oh, okay. Yep.
What does that mean?
Wouldn't you like to know? You are not the sun today. I'm just kidding. But like for me personally, my relationship with Capricorn as a moon sign is that I tend to immediately go to the negatives with everything, whether I'm trying to be negative or not. It's just that's how I internalize everything. And I have to catch myself because it's like, no, I don't want to be a negative Nancy all the time. You know, I want to, be positive and I want to, have a good time and stuff like that. But that is a trait that just is immediately there and I instinctually go to it because that's how I internalize everything. They're also very, capitalistic is not the word, I would say entrepreneurial. They are very entrepreneurial, and which I guess is very good for what I'm doing because it's like, oh, hey, here, let's start a business because I want to start a business. So there are lots of good traits to Capricorns as well, but that's how I internalize everything on an emotional level. And then you have your ascending sign, which is how other people kind of see you. And as a Cancer, they see me as very caring, very family oriented and wanting to do the best for other people, usually at my own expense. And it's true. I'm always constantly trying to help people and put myself out there for others. And I do care about the people I'm very close to. And so all of this collectively really shapes who we are. And so that's the biggest takeaway that I've gotten from, all of this astrology is that it gives you a much deeper look at yourself than just the superficial, oh, I'm a Taurus.
Right.
And so everybody can do this. I'm going to plug a website real quick, cafeastrology.com. This is where I usually go to plug in my information and it comes up with everything. Great website. I've been using it for over a decade. And they give you a full breakdown of your entire chart. And they give you all this information, and you can do it for free. So anybody out there who's listening who wants to know more about their birth charts and how to access that, cafeastrology.com.
Locally owned and locally focused, Lydia Media celebrates the heart of the greater Lewiston-Auburn area through 2 magazines, Uncle Andy's Digest and LA Metro Magazine, and the new Lydia's Lunch Bunch podcast. Each production shines a positive light on local businesses, nonprofits, events, and individuals making a difference in our community. Keep your advertising dollars local and position your business in front of your target audience with Lydia Media. Learn more at lydiamediallc.com. Mike, I have no idea what's going on.
You've never gotten into this at all.
No, I never have. And when I met Mike, I let him know I was a skeptic. However, I'm an open-minded skeptic. I'm willing to have my mind changed.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine with that. When we first met, he told me something about, like, I was struggling with something having to do with real estate. And at the time, I was trying to sell my camp. And I'm like, Jesus, he's right.
Yeah.
And that was without the cards.
Right. You just walked in and you're like, you got some real estate issues.
You're trying to move or something. You're trying to do something with real estate.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, maybe there's something to it. And then, but this, like what you're explaining now is so far beyond my comprehension. I don't know what time I was born, but when I find out, I'll go on that website and see if any of it makes sense.
And let me know. I would love to find out more about your chart.
Thanks for sharing that. Let's talk about tarot for a second because that's your area of expertise and people can get in touch with you and have you do a reading for them, right?
Yeah. And oh my God, I'm getting so many high school graduation groups right now.
Fun.
Wow.
Like, oh my God. I've had 3 high schools reach out to me for project
cool.
graduation.
That's so cool.
And the one that I work for inadvertently hired me through my entertainment company and didn't know that they actually hired me. Oh, that was going to be fun. People can certainly reach out. My email address is MikeTheTarotGuy@gmail.com. Definitely reach out there. I go to people for readings. I am now officially in a New England psychic because I now have clients in Massachusetts.
All right.
I have libraries down there that have been reaching out. So I am no longer just a Maine-made magic man. I am a New England respected psychic.
That is super cool. Congrats on that.
Nice. That's
awesome.
awesome.
We're going to say we knew you when.
Well, you guys are like family to me. Like I'm so grateful for everything that you guys have done for me. And I will gladly come back anytime you have me. But I mean, I have so much respect for all of you guys because I mean, you have done so much to help build me up, and I love what you do. I'm so grateful that you brought me into the fold with this because it's really helped my trajectory, and I've been giving that back as well. I helped raise over $102,000 last year for charity.
Nice.
And I recently have partnered with Mr. Drew here in
Yeah,
town.
I was going to ask you about that. How's that going?
Yeah, he finally got his touch tank, the marine saltwater marine touch tank. I went to him and I'm like, I want to help you in whatever way I can. How can I help? And he gave me a tour of his space over here, and he mentioned he wanted a marine biology, touch tank. And I'm like, oh my God, I wanted to be a marine biology major at one point in my life. I mean, crustaceans and mollusks are the coolest animals ever, said nobody but me. And I'm like, sold. I'm going to try and raise $5,000 for you so you can get that. And I was completely shocked when he's like, oh my God, guess what I just got? And I'm like, yes. Oh my God.
That's awesome.
So that was great. I want to help people. Like, that's ultimately why I do everything that I do. It's not about money. It's not about being famous or anything like that. But I want to help people. And so I volunteer with Strive down in South Portland, and that's where I've raised a lot of money for them. Maine State Museum last year. And so I'm looking for new avenues in which I can help people. A lot of my friends are like, you have a terrible business, model. They're like, why do you
Giving things away?
like giving away tarot readings? And it's like, but if I come across somebody and I'm clairvoyant and clairaudient. I can sense things. Like I hear things, I see things. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. It's why I'm able to read people without even using my cards. I can be like, you, you,
Feel it.
over there. But if I can sense that somebody really needs the help and they don't have the money, I'm going to give them a reading either way, because it's what needs to happen.
It doesn't always have to be about money.
And
right?
no, it doesn't. And they're like, that's a really horrible business model. You're never going to be able to be self-sufficient.
Thanks, friends.
And I'm like, you know what? I have a day job, and that's covering my bills.
Right.
And it's like, if somebody needs help, and they're like, I can make you cookies. I'm like, I'm very food motivated.
Like a golden retriever.
Mike, before our final segment, I forget how tarot cards work, but if like Sarah and Pam and I were to pick a tarot card, could you tell us something like real quick?
Ooh, I mean, we can certainly do that.
I mean,
All
it'd be
right.
kind of fun, right?
I mean, tarot guy, tarot cards.
What?
I mean, if you guys want to pick some cards, we can certainly do that.
Show
for
up.
Sure.
Yeah.
And actually, you know what? You all get your own deck.
You get a deck. And you
Get a deck.
All right. So I have new animals.
Everybody gets a deck.
All right, Oprah. All right. I have goddesses, I have old animals, and I have new animals. Who wants
Oh, I'll take the old animals.
old
That's-
animals?
that's,
Goddess says.
right up my alley.
All right, Moira. Moira Rose.
Do I shuffle them or not?
Yes.
Goddess, yes.
Do.
Please
if
shuffle.
one falls, you have to
Oh, yes. You remember.
remember.
I like these cards. They are significant.
They're very
Mark, your cards have way more significance than all the others.
Ooh.
So back when I was,
deck did I get?
you got the new animal cards, which are fantastic. I love them. But the deck that Mark has, when I was still a baby psychic and I was
Baby psychic.
learning how to psychic and whatnot, I had a psychic mentor named Lisa Nightfeather, or Lulu, as we called her. And every time I'd go see her, I'm like, oh my God, tell me about my spirit animals. I want to know my spirit animals. What are my spirit animals? And she was a Native American, so I trusted that, I wasn't appropriating culture or anything like that. She eventually, after a couple of years, she gifted me these cards. And she's like, I want to support you on your journey to being a psychic, and I have faith in you. And these cards mean everything to you because we keep using them. So I want you to have them. And she has since passed away.
Oh.
And so when it comes to cards, they say you should always be gifted the cards because it has,
Right.
Oh, that's cool.
has more energy. So these ones were gifted to me by her. And
So they have a lot of energy.
yeah, they have a lot of energy. And they have, again, she has since passed away. So don't break them. Don't break them.
You didn't.
I just shuffled them very gently.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Did you shuffle them?
I did. I shuffled them real good.
Okay, well, you guys got to pick cards.
Oh,
How many do we pick?
How many do you want?
Oh,
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
I mean, this, you just hand me whatever you.
All right, I'm gonna pick 3 cards, and I
That's
can
what I was going to say.
I'm gonna do 3 as well.
I
So
can.
use your intuition. Pick whatever feels right. Sarah, you finished first, so I will take your cards.
Okay.
Live reading being recorded, not live. Here we go.
On a podcast, whatever that is.
Whatever is a podcast.
What's a podcast? I don't see
I
no
do one?
pods. I want to make one. What is it? How do we do this? All right. All right. So first card, Sarah, that you got was Abundantia. She is the goddess of prosperity. When she comes to us, she's suggesting that you're in a space right now where a lot of opportunities are coming to you. There's a lot of good energy flowing in your direction. So open up to all of that coming towards you. There's a lot of shifting energy going on in you right now, and that response right there tells me that I'm absolutely right.
Mike, you're creeping me out again.
Well, see, they're not. Here's where it's getting cool.
Okay.
In my mind, I'm seeing like a swirling. So like when you look at a washing machine and everything's kind of swirling around and stuff
Yeah,
like
like
that.
at the laundromat.
That's when I do readings. They show me things. So that's where the clairvoyance piece comes in, is I see things. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. And that's why I ask clarifying questions.
Yeah.
Now, this card, again, tells me that there's a lot of, positive energy coming into play and stuff like that. But when I mention that in regards to your life, it's showing that spin cycle, which tells me that there's a lot of things going around. And also, when you handed me the cards, you handed them sideways. Now, and I held them here sideways, which is interesting because I've learned to read that as being chaos. When the cards come up sideways, it means there's a lot of chaotic energy going on. So all of that is how I'm reading what's coming up right now, is that you got a lot of good stuff coming. It's just there's so much of it in so many different ways that you're just like, oh God, what do I do?
Yeah.
What do I do? Now, you haven't told me anything about what's going on in your life right now, but
No.
I can tell that it's kind of exhausting, and I can tell that at the same time,
Is it the dark circle?
I was not going to say anything about dark circles.
Okay.
I don't see doctors.
Now I'm self-conscious.
And no, it has nothing to do with circles.
Okay, good.
Other than,
Other than the swirly whirly washing machine.
other than the metaphorical energetics.
Yes.
I feel like
Yeah, it is exhausting.
yeah,
You're right.
I don't have to necessarily know. If it makes sense to you, that's all that matters. And that's how this thing usually plays out. Is like, I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, no, it totally does make sense.
All right.
Oh.
Now, your next card. We're going to read all these in terms of sort of chaos, because that's how you handed me the cards when they were in deck form. High Priestess, Dana. So it's indicating, so when Dana comes to us, she's saying we have the ability to connect with the energies around us and be able to bring some of that energy into our lives, but she's inverted right now. So she's flipped upside down.
Okay.
And what that means is that there's a block currently that's keeping you from accessing the information that the higher powers have, right? When that happens, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you haven't been trusting your intuition as much lately. You haven't been listening to that inner voice. And that's why. Is because your connection to the other side, the higher powers that be, angels, guides, whatever you want to call it. There's a block there. There's an energetic block. And that's also leading to some of that chaos kind of going on. It's like you're trying to reach out and get information, but it's not there.
Okay.
Final card, we have Rhiannon. She is a sorceress goddess, and she represents magic.
She's like, yeah.
It just reaffirms that you have this magical quality to you to be able to draw the energy to you that you need. The problem is you're not doing it as much as you should because there's that block. Okay. So finding out where that block is coming from emotionally and energetically, and then getting rid of that is going to be very important.
Okay.
Sound good?
That kind of makes sense to me, actually. Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And like the first card and the second and third, I think, are 2 different things.
Okay, and that's totally, and see, that's great.
Yeah.
you can see that in two different ways, but it still makes sense to you.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense to me. Hey, child, I have no idea where you're going.
Yeah.
But-
I don't know either.
But the overall message is the same. It's
Yeah.
like, you have that block kind of existing there, and it's keeping you from doing the things that you need to do. So find out where that's coming from and then work towards
Push it aside.
pushing it out.
Get it out of here. Okay.
Who's
Can
next? All right, Pam, let's see what you got.
Handing these to you.
Yes,
See,
please.
now I'm nervous about how I hand them to you. Like,
Oh, you're fine. I want to start off by saying congratulations on those awards that you won.
thanks. It was just one, right? So, award.
Well, congratulations on the award.
Thank
that
you very
won.
much.
And that kind of has something to do with the Andalusian horse, right? So we're working with spirit animals now. We transition from goddesses to them. And I remember in our last reading, we were talking about, sort of breaking out of your shell and moving forward, on your terms and
Yep.
stuff like that. The Andalusian horse is all about that. It's all about we need to transcend ourselves and allow ourselves to break out of the mold that we're in to be what we're going to be or what we want to be. And in this case, it's what we want to be. I'm not saying quit your job or anything like that.
Please don't quit your job, Pam.
That would be hard to quit my job.
but I feel like there is an emotional evolution
Yeah.
that could come about in your life over the next couple of years, and this card is basically saying allow that evolution to happen because it's going to make your life on a personal level so much better.
Cool.
Next, we have cow and bull inverted. Okay.
Oh, boy.
That sounds dirty.
Oh my, scandalous.
It does now that you say that.
Nobody was thinking until you pointed it out.
Way to make my readings, which are pure, filthy, and demonstrative.
You're welcome.
That's what he does.
In regards to where you are right now, and we're going to kind of go off on that whole evolutionary process thing. When a cow and bull comes to us, it reminds us that we need to appreciate where we are and the path that we're going down. We have it inverted, so it's suggesting that, honey child, you're trying to rush through things and you're trying to push things to go as fast as humanly. No, girl, calm down.
Take it easy, Pam.
Take a step back and enjoy the process, I guess. And maybe enjoy is not the right word. But the
Observe?
process
Tolerate?
exists in the process.
Be in it.
Okay.
Be yes.
In the process.
Be in the process. Live in the moment and appreciate the things that are around you because things are changing. They are changing for the better. These things take time. But in order for us to truly appreciate where we're going, we have to embrace where we are now. And
Makes sense because I'm very impatient.
Aw.
I can be, I should say. I am very, very patient in some ways and then very impatient in other ways.
And it's funny because the bull is the sign for May. It's the zodiac sign for May. So yay, May.
Yay, May.
Ooh, you got
Gonna
one.
be me.
You got all that I do
I do for you.
All right, you got one of my favorite animals in the deck.
All right.
Yeah, I love it. Red salmon. They're delicious.
Yes, yum.
I love the face.
I love fish.
You literally just made a face like, oh, he loves this animal. It's going to be great. And then salmon.
You're gonna eat it? You said they were delicious.
They are delicious.
They are delicious.
And they represent cool things too.
Yeah.
They represent life, vitality. So eating salmon, if it's your spirit animal, is actually good because you're bringing that energy and vitality into your life. But more specifically, it represents determination to overcome the obstacles that we need to in order to grow and become a better form of ourselves. So having that, next to this bull here, it's going to be very important to push through all of those obstacles that you're having and celebrate yourself when you do, because you've worked really hard to climb those waterfalls to get back to the spawning grounds.
All right.
It's an upstream battle, Pam.
Pam,
Pam.
this ain't no fish fry. It's an
Upstream battle.
upstream battle.
Oof.
All right, Mr. Sunshine.
Ooh, he handed them to you. Fan. Does that mean something?
Ooh.
That means I'm a big fan.
I was just going to say that. He's a big fan of mine. All right.
Oh, man.
Just laughed. He just laughed when he flipped that card.
It's a unicorn.
It's a unicorn.
What does that mean?
We have it inverted. So unicorns represent our imaginative, creative side and being fun and whimsical and all the things that Mark claims he's not. But secretly he is. I feel like deep down he's a secret unicorn, but he doesn't want to let anybody know.
Agreed.
So, in regards to this reading, Mark, when a unicorn comes to us inverted, it's suggesting that we are really kind of avoiding the more whimsical side of life. We're avoiding all of those creative nuances that allow us to kind of express ourselves in a fun, honest way. It's important to make sure that we are bringing that energy in however we need to. You're like a brick wall. In that, I know from years and years of knowing you, you have an emotional brick wall that you put up, and it takes forever to get in past that. I feel like I finally got past that brick wall, but I had to like Shawshank Redemption, chisel.
Does that explain the monitor between me and Pam?
I knew it.
So, yeah, accurate. Yeah,
But
agreed.
Either way, it's saying that, there's a need to bring more of that whimsical energy in. And this morning's been great. I mean, this has been so much fun. It's out of here. It's not work. It's outside in life. I'm not saying that anything bad is going on or anything like that. But finding that joy for yourself and finding that whimsy outside of work and allowing yourself to kind of break free. Are you still doing stand-up?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like that's where, if you can do more of that, I feel like that's where you're going to thrive.
Okay.
All right. Next, you've got Gorilla. I mean,
Right.
super
Yeah.
powerful and all that
Yeah, that's
stuff.
me.
He pounds his chest a lot.
I can see it.
It's pretty much all I do.
So I mentioned the unicorn is outside of here, and I'm not suggesting anything bad is happening, but Gorilla really brings it home. And when I say home, I mean family, right? And I feel like that's where that whimsy also needs to kind of exist. Gorilla is all about taking the time to listen compassionately to your family, friends, and the people that you care about, and that it's really bringing their feelings and emotions into play. Spend more time with the family, spend more time building and nurturing those relationships, not saying that they're in any sort of, everybody assumes that when I say things, it's bad. And in the past, you were like, oh God, what terrible thing is happening? Nothing terrible is happening. But if you can strengthen those bonds over the next couple of months, that's going to put you in a very good place.
All right. Good
And
to
then
know.
final one, platypus.
Oh, they don't do much.
They do a lot.
I think Sarah just summed it up.
Do you know how poisonous they are?
Phineas and Ferb.
Poisonous.
Phineas and Ferb. Don't you know that's a line from Phineas and Ferb? They have a platypus named Perry.
Yeah, Perry the platypus.
And they're like, they don't do much. That's what they say about. But he's a secret agent.
oh my God.
Does lots of stuff.
So
Secretly.
I never watched that show because
Oh, it's
it was
so funny.
I was older than I was beyond that. But now that you mentioned that, I think I remember like seeing something along those lines at one point.
Yeah.
And oh my God, yeah. And he makes this adorable like clicking sound like oh God, my horrible platypus sound. We're gonna cut that.
You should go back. You should watch them. As an adult, I enjoy Phineas and Ferb very much.
I might check it out.
You'll like it.
But yeah, they're highly poisonous.
They are platypi?
Oh yeah, no, they're very poisonous, and nobody knows this. They're duck puppies. I mean, they're like
so cute.
half duck, half beaver, and but they're very, very poisonous. They've got barbs on the back of their feet, and they're poison. They're also the only mammal that lays eggs.
Yeah, they're weird.
Yeah,
Crazy.
they're awesome. Anyways,
This describes Mark perfectly.
I know. He's a conundrum.
does Mark complain a lot?
No,
No.
never.
Okay, Mark, you need to complain more.
Oh, I'm not into that.
I know. What's interesting is platypus, when it comes to us in a reading, it's all about we're complaining too much about things, but when it's inverted, it's suggesting that we're not really complaining enough. And people are like, Mike, why are you telling me to complain more? That's not something I want to do. But the type of complaining that I'm talking about is like, there are things that we need to really kind of speak out against in our lives, things that, it's not quite standing up for ourselves, but there are certain things in life that really need to be said. And when it comes to those things, you're not saying them when you need to. And you hold, and it goes back to that wall that I'm talking about.
Yeah, sure.
You don't let people in emotionally, and that's okay. You don't have to. But at the same time, there are times when you need to emote and you're not allowing yourself to do that. And that's when it can get tricky for you in terms of expressing what you need to express in order for you to be a healthy, happy person.
All right, Mike. That was incredibly accurate, and you're creeping me out again.
I love it. I love when I do that.
That's cool.
And again, I don't need to know details, but if you can take the message that I gave to you, and Pam, if you can take the message I gave to you, and Sarah, the message I gave to you, I don't need to know the full details of those things, but if you can take the things that I've said and you're able to look at your own situations and say, wow, he's creeping me out because he's right, and maybe I should look at this from a different point of view, I've done my job.
Oh, good stuff. Thank you for that.
Thanks, Mike.
That was enjoyable. We don't want to deprive you of our final segment, Mike. It's called 3 Random Questions,
Oh, I love this.
where we ask you questions that have nothing to do with tarot reading or astrology or anything like that.
Yay.
I will ask you a question about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Who's the best character and why?
I want to say Thor because, and not just because he's my favorite, he's my favorite of the Avengers.
Sure.
But he has had the best character progression and arc out of any of them. And he is the only surviving, or one of the few only surviving original Avengers to still be alive right now in the continuity.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you have a favorite book, movie, or show that is somewhat related to what you do?
Ooh. Just because I can't think of something directly, I'm going to go with Harry Potter.
Okay.
Because, I am totally Professor Trelawney, spazzed out hair, hippie clothing. It's like, oh, you're going to die in some terrible way.
Tea leaves in the cup.
Yeah, and I got a crystal ball, like an actual real one, like the big one. It's in my car.
Do you
Right
see
on.
things in it?
I've done that once, and it was weird. I saw a Sioux Native American woman, and she was crying, and I'm like, I don't know if
what
I'm
this
just
means.
hallucinating or like it was. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, that's weird. But no, I'll throw down the classic Harry Potter because it's the
Yeah.
closest thing that I can think of right
Right,
now.
on the spot.
Anything witchy. Yeah, I'm a witch, so it's like, yeah.
What's the movie with,
Practical magic.
yes.
Oh my God, that's what I was just thinking of with Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock.
Yes.
I was just thinking of that.
All you had to say was, what's the movie? And I was like, Practical.
Oh wait, the Crucible. The Crucible. Witchcraft, Crucible. All right.
You know a lot about animals.
I love animals.
If animals could talk, which one would be the smartest?
I feel like sea turtles would probably. I know that's kind of a lame answer because they live for like 150 years.
They have a lot of wisdom.
They have wisdom behind them. I wanted to say something silly and ridiculous like, I don't know, a sloth.
They would just be really slow to say all the very intelligent things.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I'm going to say a sea turtle. They've got that wisdom. They've got that lived experience and whatnot.
It's a good answer.
Good stuff. Mike, thanks so much for joining us today on your birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you so much for allowing me to be here. As I told Sarah this morning, I'm like, nothing's by accident. I purposely chose this day. Pay attention to me.
I think he's a little disappointed he wasn't listed in famous people birthdays.
I know.
We had him on the show.
I am perfectly secure.
You know what, Mike? You're on the show. You know who's not? George Clooney.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Or
Yeah.
Bob Seger.
Yeah, or Bob Seger.
Sigmund Freud is dead, so
Or Tom Bergeron. Screw that guy.
yeah.
Mike, how can folks learn more about Mike the Tarot Guy?
Email me, MikeTheTarotGuy@gmail.com. You can call me, but find that online. I'm not giving this out on
Right. On whatever a
Find
podcast
him on
is.
Facebook.
whatever radio station this is going on.
Put some effort into it.
You can reach my Morse code.
And you have Mike the Tarot Guy on Facebook.
Yes.
Look
All
up
right.
into the universe and scream Mike the Tarot Guy.
Yeah.
He will magically appear.
Yeah.
look into the sky and just chant. And 3 times, I'll be there.
There he is.
Thanks to our sponsors, Ruper's Beverage and Redemption and United Piping. And if you'd like to be part of the Lydia's Lunch Bunch advertising family, reach out to Pam via email at pam@lydiamediallc.com.
Have a great day. And remember, don't bite your cat.
And I will say I have bitten my cat.